On TVC Breakfast this morning, President Tinubu declares a state of emergency, suspends governor, lawmakers in Rivers State.
And later in the show, reactions from stakeholders on the Rivers state of emergency.
Good morning and welcome to today's edition of the program, TVC Breakfast. My name is Etoma Edu and I'm here with my colleague.
I'm Ibrahim Shita. Thank you so much for joining us on a day like this in Nigeria. Good to see you, Etoma.
Good to see you too. Now, I saw Mr. President's broadcast to the nation and I listened to that thing. In fact, took a whole lot of points and all that. Were you expecting what he said?
I think I have this clairvoyant kind of spirit, because yesterday I was having a conversation with some of my colleagues yesterday in the newsroom regarding what is going on in River State, and I just said it, dismissively, that we might be seeing a state of emergency in the offing. But then it happened. I was even surprised when I heard the president make that proclamation, declaration of the state of emergency, and I was like, wow. I think we have a story, relating to that.
Well, President Bola Tinubu has suspended Governor Simi-Dai Fubra, Deputy Governor Professor Ngozi Odu, and all lawmakers in River State for 6 months.
Absolutely. In their place, President Tinubu has appointed retired Vice Admiral Ibok-Ete Ibas as the sole administrator of the state. As a former chief of naval staff, Ibas brings extensive experience to the role, having served in various capacities in the Nigerian Navy. His appointment aims to restore stability and ensure security in River State and political instability. As sole administrator, Vice Admiral Ibas will oversee governance and formulate necessary regulations subject to approval by the Federal Executive Council and the President. But it won't have the power to enact new laws. President Tinubu announced the suspension and appointment in a nationwide broadcast, citing the need to address the state's political and governance crisis. He also assured Nigerians that the intervention aims to restore good governance and ensure the well-being of Rivers State's people without undermining the democratic process. Quite interesting development coming out of
September 1960. In Nkor, Cross River State, Nigeria. He enlisted into the Nigerian Defense Academy as a member of the 26th regular course of the 20th of June 1979 and boasts of an impressive educational background and military career. The retired Vice Admiral served as the 22nd Chief of the Naval Staff from 2015 to 2021 and held various appointments, including Commanding Officer of the Nigerian Navy Underwater Warfare School and Chief of Logistics. His achievements earned him several awards and decorations, including the Silver Jubilee Medal and Nigerian National Honor of Commander of the Order of the Federal Republic, CFR. He was appointed Ambassador of Nigeria to Ghana by former President Muhammadu Buhari. On the 18th of March 2025, President Bola Tinubu appointed Vice Admiral Ibok-Ete Ibas as sole administrator of Rivers State following the declaration of a state of emergency. He is expected to play a key role in restoring stability and governance to the state.
All right, that's the gentleman that's going to run River State for the next 6 months. Right. Very interesting that he is from Cross River State, and we are like next door neighbors, if you can say that, Cross River State and River State.
That's right.
But I don't think where he comes from was considered.
No.
While he has extensive security knowledge. And he's also a diplomat. He served as ambassador of Nigeria to Ghana.
That's right.
So I think his wealth of experience, and the peculiar situation in River State were more of the reasons why he was appointed. How do you think?
Yes, most definitely. Seeing someone just like the way you describe him, former, it would definitely be the administrator of River State. So former naval staff, still would definitely be responsible for overseeing the affairs of Rivers State. But it's going to be, we expect that it provides oversight for government or governance in Rivers State. But one thing is that it won't be able to formulate laws except that they differ to the National Assembly. So we also expect that security enhancements will be experienced in Rivers State, because now we're beginning to hear that armor tanks moving in and security personnel being deployed to strategic places. And you know that we had 2 explosions rocking the pipelines yesterday, and I guess that was what made the president see it as expedient to declare the state of emergency, because this happened during the last time we had Rivers State, because it's very, very key to Nigeria's economic powerhouse. And the way the president described it in his former meetings, he said Rivers State is like a goose that lays the golden egg, and if we don't protect this egg, then we'll lose the goose as well as the eggs, and that's not what we want to see. So 400,000 barrels per day were lost during the Buhari administration, from 2.5 million liters, barrels per day, and then plunging Nigeria into serious crisis, and we had to struggle, do everything, make much more effort to retain or to get back to where we are today. Yes, we don't want to see that happening.
I must commend President Bola Tinubu for jumping in when he did. If not for the political crisis, for the economic crisis that would have come out of this, because groups had earlier on said, look, if you don't settle this political problem, we're going to blow pipelines, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. And they made good to their promises. And he said, now that they have started, this is when to stop. And you see why Ibok-Ete's appointment is strategic. That is why Ibok-Ete Ibas' appointment is strategic. The man knows the creeks, and he knows has a lot of security experience at top level in the Navy.
Most definitely, and we expect that there will be so much that he will be able to do to restore peace and stability to the political milieu of Rivers State, because we do not want to see a state plunged into serious deep crisis. But the National Assembly also said that the president consulted with them before he declared the state of emergency, in reaction to those who were saying that the NBA, etc., saying that this is not constitutionally backed, that what the president had done. But if you look at Section 305 of the 1999 Constitution, subsection 2, also speaks to this. But it was supposed to be the governor that should ask the president to declare the state of emergency, but he did not. And it appeared that when that explosion rocked the pipelines, he didn't make any move. He didn't say anything, as to this, condemn what happened, following what he has also done. Allegedly done, the assembly complex, the assembly facility, which was demolished, under his watch. So a whole lot of things, had been in the works. And, he was also on the verge of impeachment, because he has been, there is this plans to impeach suspended Governor Fubara, and we know that might lead to very serious breakdown of law and order, which we don't want to see.
Yeah, my people say if the masquerade is getting dressed and he's sweating too much, you sure he wants to be the masquerade for that day?
How do you even know a masquerade sweats?
And the person wearing the stuff. When he starts sweating too much, are you sure he wants to be the masquerade that day?
That's right.
A lot of reactions have been coming on concerning the state of emergency declared in River State. Some people are hailing Mr. President for what he did, and I'm one of them, because the fact that they started blowing pipelines shows that if something is not done immediately, it will escalate. And that will hit the Nigerian economy so hard. For that reason, Mr. President has my thumbs up and so on. However, some people feel that he shouldn't have done what he did.
Yeah, so it's a conversation that will dominate our programming today. So it remains to be seen what our guests will be, the sides they'll be taking, looking at the legal angle and the political implications, etc., etc.
All right, so we'll take a breather and